remind you, the job of the when you have problems with oxygen, your oxygen level is low. What responds is your kidneys. That's the one. It makes erythropoietin. If you go back to your picture of the kidney, erythropoietin, your red blood cell, the blood, see low oxygen levels, and it shows the kidney homeostasis. When the blood goes to the kidney and it has low oxygen levels, the kidney responds by secreting erythropoietin. So then it goes to the bone marrow, you can make more red blood cells. The job of the respiratory system is, of course, when you when we talk respiratory system, you always think breathing, right? But what regulates our breathing? It's the carbon dioxide. So don't forget that, okay? The blood formation is adjusted by oxygen levels in the body. Breathing, your respiration, respiratory rate is regulated by carbon dioxide levels in the body. Okay?
Is blood formation affected by oxygen?
Yes. Oxygen. So RBC problems or oxygen problems, because that's the main job of your red blood cells, right? Okay. Don't forget the cardiac cycle. I know for sure that that is going to come out
Digestive system.
here. So the respiratory system is really, really not that difficult.
I can't see.
You can see.
It's too dark in here. I can see that, but I can't see my book.
Can you adjust the light thing to go? Okay.
Just a teeny bit.
So
Just so I
here,
can see the words on the page.
Way too much.
That's good, right there. Thank you.
okay. So what you should know, appreciate by now, I hope, is the importance of a healthy cardiovascular system. If you notice, as we keep moving, look at your cardiovascular system is the one that pumps. It's the transport system, right? Let's say your tissues. It delivers oxygen to your tissues. And then the carbon dioxide, which is a normal waste product, it returns it, right, so that you can get rid of it. So this carbon dioxide rich blood, carbaminohemoglobin, remember, it goes to the heart, and the heart will deliver it to your lungs. And the lungs picks up the oxygen from the air, right? Give it, and then it goes back right here to the left atrium, which would be the ventricle. And you understand my drawing, right? I hope you already understand my drawing. You understand this one? Do you?
No, that's a little complicated.
Okay. So remember, when the tissues get oxygenated blood,
Okay.
right? That's pumped by the left side of the heart, and then the tissues unload their carbon dioxide. By the way, carbon dioxide we know is a common waste product of metabolism. Carbon dioxide. Do you remember when you had your blood worksheet? Carbon dioxide combines with water. There is that enzyme called carbonic anhydrase. You remember that in your blood worksheet? And so carbon dioxide very easily combines with water to form carbonic acid. And this is acid. This is why if we keep the carbon dioxide in our bodies, if there is no way to get rid of it, we will go into acidosis. I hope you understand. We're going to talk about acid-base balance in more detail after your renal system. But this is really what's happening. So we know that, do you understand or do you agree carbon dioxide is a normal waste product of metabolism? You know, we're going to talk about what does that mean when we study nutrition and metabolism. How do we end up with carbon dioxide? For now, I want you to know that every cell in the body, this is your cell, as a normal day-to-day activity, your cells, remember your cells use ATP, you remember that one, right? Our cells, this is a typical cell, okay? To power any activity of the cell, what kind of activity? Let's say this is an endocrine gland. It has to make hormones. Just let's say pancreas has to make insulin, glucagon. It needs energy to make those things, right? The insulin, glucagon. So, yes, I know my pancreas, that's the job of the pancreas, but to make that insulin, glucagon, it needs ATP. Do you agree, right? And where do you get that ATP? From your food, from your glucose, okay? And so the food, right, as it gets converted to ATP, we're going to study this in more detail when we take up nutrition and metabolism. But for now, I want you to understand or just be aware of how do we get carbon dioxide. So as we convert our food items to ATP in the mitochondria, remember? The byproduct is carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide very easily combines with water right here through the presence of the enzyme carbonic anhydrase, right? So what do you form? Carbonic acid. So we have to get rid of that one. We have to blow off that carbon dioxide. Otherwise, we're going to go into acidosis. And acid, we know that acid is a tenderizer, isn't it? Vinegar is a tenderizer. It tenderizes meat. So it will cause problems in the body. That's the purpose of the respiratory system, to get rid of this carbon dioxide so we can control possibilities of going into acidosis and receive oxygen. That's the job of your respiratory system. And you see what links it is your cardiovascular system in this very, very nice artistic drawing right here, right? The cardiovascular system links everything. That's why it's very, very important to have healthy blood flow. Okay? So, with that, the process that the respiratory system is able to do that is called respiration. So as far as respiration is concerned, there's a few terms. You know, I just want you to know when we say cellular respiration, I hope you understand that this refers to the metabolism part where the mitochondria uses your nutrients to give you oxygen. That's what you mean by cellular respiration. In other words, cellular metabolism. So when we talk about respiration as far as the pulmonary system is concerned, it includes your ventilation. And this ventilation, there are two parts to ventilation. Breathing in is inhalation. You know that, right? Inhalation or inspiration. It's also referred to as inspiration. Please, some people in the past, I would ask, define inspiration. Why would they write the act of being inspired? Please, we're talking about A and P, okay? So don't write the act of being inspired. The other part of ventilation is exhalation, right? And another term
Expiration.
for that one is also called, it's also called expiration.
You're dead.
I know, they write the act of dying. So don't write the act of dying. Expiration is breathing out or exhalation, okay?
Do you at least give them half credit?
No, no credit at all. Okay? So that's what we're going to study. The other part of the respiratory system is how do we transport? We're going to study first how do we inhale those gases, the oxygen. How does it get in? We take it for granted. And we just inhale, exhale. But what regulates that breathing? It's very, very interesting. And then once it enters, we're going, the last part of this respiratory system is talking about how is it transported in the body. Okay? Here is where the cardiovascular system comes into play again. Okay? Of course, there's other functions. We know thermoregulation. It must be a function of your respiratory system. If you breathe in cold air, just think about it. The freezing air, if it goes all the way inside, it can damage. So it must have some thermoregulatory function. We know that it helps, it's important for smelling, right? For production of sound and protection. Okay? Why do we include protection? Look at this picture right here. What you need to know, the respiratory system is an open. You know the best way to study a respiratory system is to think of it like do you live, you know, in a neighborhood? My neighborhood, there's a cul-de-sac. So just think of it like this. It dead ends and then it goes back out. So whatever we breathe in, if there's we always breathe in some bacteria, right? If there is no way for protection, it would go all the way down to your lungs. So another function of your respiratory system is protection. Okay? Okay. Before we study the mechanics or the physiology of breathing, we look at the anatomical parts. What are the organs that belong to the respiratory system? We start with your nose, your pharynx or the throat. The pharynx is a shared organ between the digestive system and your respiratory system. You have three parts there, the oropharynx, the so the oropharynx is the part, the digestive part, nasopharynx and laryngopharynx, those are the respiratory. Anyway, it's shared, right? That's why when you aspirate sometimes, you can choke and you have to do the Heimlich maneuver so that the patient can breathe again, okay? Because that's the one that connects the two body systems. The next part, you go lower than that, is your larynx, which is your voice box. Then you have your trachea. By the way, open up your the lab manual. Your lab manual, the black one, has nice pictures of the respiratory system, okay? So I want you to open that up. Then you go all the way down after the trachea, you go down to the bronchus, which is divided into right and left. Then the bronchi, if you look at this picture, it just divides into smaller. You call it bronchioles until it dead ends. It just dead ends into the alveolus. See, look at this picture right here. You have the picture of your lungs. You see, look at this one. So there's your trachea. You see it then divides to the bronchi. And then you have the bronchioles. And look at, it dead ends into this alveolus, which are your air sacs. So the air sacs, see, like a bunch of grapes, the air sacs, the collection of the air sacs make up your lungs. Can you picture that? Do you have a nice picture there?
No, we found it yet.
The alveolus, you see it? What page is that one? That one, 166.
66.
You see it?
I have a
Page
different one.
166.
Where's that? There's the lungs.
It's a boy, guys.
Oh, yay!
Bronchioles. Pulmonary arterioles. Alveoli surrounded by capillaries. Pulmonary venules.
Okay.
Alveolar duct. And pulmonary capillaries.
So here,
Yeah, that's
okay,
right here.
you see how there's your, there's the nasopharynx, nose, then pharynx, then larynx, then you have your trachea, then you